Today on Beyond Rodeo, Hadley and I are going to North Platte, Nebraska, to the Buffalo Bill Rodeo, where I get the sincere honor of presenting my dad, Larry Gosnell, with the Trail Boss Award. You don't want to miss it, so stay tuned. Beyond Rodeo, we'll be right back.
Champions aren't born. Champions are made. From the inside out. The Cowboy's quest for a championship can only be honored with the most precious of metal, gold. So what's it take to get one? Most of all, it takes a man willing to sacrifice his life and his body to own one of the rarest trophies in all sport, a gold buckle.
Howdy, I'm Luke Perry. The sport of bull riding will forever have a special place in my heart. Today I'd like to share with you something else that means a great deal to me. Western Wishes honors and strives to lift the spirits of children and young adults facing adversity. Western Wishes helps these courageous kids' dreams come true by making them VIPs at country music concerts, rodeos, and championship bull riding events like this one. For more information on Western Wishes, go to www.westernwishes.org.
When you think of cowboys, what comes to mind? John Wayne? Roy Rogers? Where did our fascination with the American cowboy really begin? I think I found it right here in North Platte, Nebraska, where one of the first rodeos was held in 1882, put on by North Platte's most famous resident, William F. Cody, Buffalo Bill.
Well, the first original rodeo, we call it America's first rodeo, was in 1882, and Buffalo Bill was asked, or either he asked to participate or worked with the city fathers anyway, to put on a spectacle of the Western way of life, and it combined rodeo, shooting events, Wild West show and everything, and you know, it's just progressed from there.
Now, has it gone on ever since then?
You know, it has, except for the war years of 1940 to, I believe, 1946, it started up again. And I believe in 47 is when it actually became the Buffalo Bill Rodeo. The crowds were different in that they were a lot more farm and ranch related jobs and occupations. And a lot of times the contestants didn't look any different than you know, the people in the crowd. But today's rodeo, it's moved to the next level of professional athlete, and a lot of times you'll see young kids in shorts and tennis shoes as enthusiastic about the different contestants that are competing professionally that you would in the older days.
Mm-hmm. So now it's more of an extreme sport. You got the kids coming out watching, and you've got some great specialty acts too as part of the rodeo.
Right. You know, I mean, it is still family entertainment, but it's more of a business now than it was, you know, a weekend hobby type of a thing in the past.
So for every little boy that grew up wanting to be a cowboy, this is the place that they need to come. The spirit of today's Buffalo Bill Rodeo is the same as the very first, a completely American sport, growing out of the everyday working lives of the men who made the great American West. For a taste of living Western heritage, stop in North Platte, Nebraska, and take in the Buffalo Bill Rodeo, one of America's favorite rodeos.
You know, sometimes I think people in other parts of the world tend to believe that Americans take their freedom for granted, that it comes easy to us, without sacrifices, but we all know that's not true. We borrow a little freedom in riding a horse, playing a game, or choosing our vocation. These are all symbols of freedom. And if there's one thing that creates a common bond among Americans without ever saying a word, it's the appearance of the American flag.
Don't go anywhere.
When Beyond Rodeo returns, Buffalo Bill Rodeo committeeman Larry Gosnell is presented with the Trail Boss Award.
There's a place in all of us called Montana. It's a place both familiar and extraordinary. It's a place that's authentic, distinctive, American. It's a place where things don't always come easy, but once captured, endure. A place where great things are and beautiful things are made. Things of character, things of meaning. There's a place in all of us we call Montana.
I'm alright. Finally dried my eyes. My pillow's finally dry, yeah. I'm sleeping through the night and I can't taste a single tear right now. I'm all cried out. I'd break your heart if you had one. I'd make you cry if I could. It's a waste of time to pay you back for all the things you've done, but I'd break your heart if you had one.
So a little kid comes up, gets Trevor Brazil's autograph and says, I want to be just like you. I want to be you. What advice are you going to give him?
Well, I can tell you what it takes now, but they're going to have to do the stuff that it took back then. You know, now I get up, I work hard, I have good horses. I know the things that it takes to keep them going. You know, which is a big part, which is what a lot of guys skip. I mean, I worked my senior year half a day for $50 a week for a horse trainer, just so I would have that. You know, I was around great horses from the start, and just learning how they got from point A to point B helped my rodeo career. You know, I owe a lot to riding colts for $50 a week.
I bet.
And cleaning up after them if it took it, you know, just to be in the right spot to where I was able to learn that stuff.
So what would your legacy be to those kids who are going to follow you?
I'm summed up pretty easily, you know. I know that everything that I have attained has been through hard work, but it's been through the talents and opportunities that have been, you know, I've been blessed with through God. And I've just tried to use them to the maximum. And you know, the arena's important, but there's more to life, you know, than the 8 or 10 seconds at a time. You know, people concentrate and they watch that time, but because of those 8 seconds, they watch your life, and you got to make sure that they both line up to being a world champion.
Little folks are people too, very much like me and you. The little things they say and do, it kinda make your day. Foolishness and common sense through the eyes of innocence. Skip a rope or jump a fence, getting in the way. Daddy, why are you so tall? Daddy, why am I so small? Daddy, like snowflakes fall. Could it be the Lord? Chasing
The rodeo industry is a family, and our families are a big part of our lives. In 2006, I had the honor of singing the national anthem at our Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, 8.5 months pregnant, with my daughter Taya.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs
In 2013, in my hometown rodeo arena, I got to step out and sing the national anthem with my daughter Taya right by my side. After that, I had the honor of presenting my dad with the Trail Boss Award. It just doesn't get any better than that.
Thank you, Susie and Dale. That's the way we do it at the Buffalo Bill Rodeo.
My partner Hadley's down on the ground. Susie Dobbs is right along with him. And this is like a little Beyond Rodeo thing, huh?
It is a little like Beyond Rodeo, yes.
It sure is, Hadley. And you know what? We are back home. We are right here on the place, the arena that we cut our teeth growing up, kind of where Beyond Rodeo got its start.
I heard you say that on television one time. She is the little lady that 5 years ago said, we can do this thing. I said, no, we can't. 5 years later, we still are. But you are right. We grew up right here in North Platte, in rodeo, and that's the subject that we're going to address right here. You know
That's
that?
right. You know, I got my love of rodeo right here in North Platte from my dad. And the award that we're going to give today, it really epitomizes just that.
Well, it is an award called the Trail Boss Award, and I know some of you are familiar with it. We hope you are anyway. And to give you a brief description of it, it goes to a person that depicts exactly the dedication, the volunteer work, the sincere attitude about this particular program and the Western way of life, to say nothing about the fact that it is something that supports the community. And you know what, Susie? The person that will receive this award tonight, I think, fits that description to a T.
You know, I really do too. I remember when I was a little girl, sitting there watching rodeo with my dad, watching Charlie Sampson and Donnie Gay riding. And you know, one thing that he instilled in me is the love of rodeo and the Western lifestyles and things like that. And I think that's real important, because if we teach our kids that, they're going to continue to be fans of rodeo, and our sport is never going to die.
And you know what? I was going to name this person, but I scribbled this down back there, and I cannot read my own notes. Will you acknowledge them for me, please?
I would so much. It is my sincere honor and privilege, this close to Father's Day, to present the Trail Boss Award to my dad, Mr. Larry Gosnell.
You know, we have caught a few people by surprise in this arena with awards, but I don't think we have ever caught one like we did tonight. You know that? And typically, Susie, we would ask him to respond, but I don't think the emotions are going to allow that tonight. You know, it is always nice, and I thank you for applauding him. If you knew him like we do, you would know what a dedicated guy he is and how much fun he is to be around. This plaque will go on his wall with a lot of pride. Do it one time again, if you will, for Larry and our Trail Boss Award winner.
Have always been cowboys, and they still are.
Woo!
It seems.
How good is that?
Sad.
You don't know the thousands of hours that he has put into it, that he has volunteered, been a part of this committee and this community as well. One more time for Larry Gosnell. Would you do that? Larry, how cool is that, buddy? Susie, nice job.
With their own brand of misery from being
That'll make you choke up.
Hi, this is Craig Morgan. As a former warrior, I know that coming home from war can be the beginning of another battle. Combat forges strength and courage, but courage doesn't end on the battlefield, and oftentimes the wounds that hurt the most aren't on the outside. War changes you and your loved ones. It's normal. Not Alone empowers warriors and families dealing with combat stress by providing training, education, counseling, and support. For more information, go to the Not Alone website, notalone.com. That's notalone.com.
Sometimes he's just a-sittin', and sometimes he's sitting and thinking. Here's Liesl, sitting and thinking.
You know, I was just thinking the other day, me and my wife's been arguing a lot. We got in an argument over the pool boy the other day. The swimming pool boy. We got in an argument over it. I wanted to fire him and she didn't want to fire him, and I said, I'm gonna fire the pool boy. She said, no, you're not gonna fire the pool boy. I said, the only reason you want to fire the pool boy is because he's young, nice looking, and he's got muscles. I said, no, the reason I want to fire him is because we ain't got no pool.
This has been Liesl Harris, sitting and thinking.
The Cowboy. He's an American icon. On his horse with blood, sweat, and a few tears, he built this country. He tamed the Old West, herding cattle across the plains, sleeping on the ground with only the stars as a blanket. We've all wished we could be cowboys. The old gunfighting outlaws, the vaqueros, the old-time rodeo cowboys to the singing cowboys, even our modern-day working cowboys and cowgirls, all share a common heritage, a mystere, a toughness we admire, a mix of courage, justice, and courtesy. Every gal melts when she hears that, yes, ma'am. From words penned by the most famous singing cowboy of them all, Mr. Gene Autry, we have the Cowboy Code. Never take unfair advantage of the other fella. Never go back on your word. Always tell the truth. Always be gentle with children, older folks, animals, and your wife. I added that part. Help folks that need it. Be a good worker. Keep clean in thought, speech, and action. Respect your parents, women, and the law. Good words to live by, if you ask me. Many have called them knights in shining armor of the Old West. All I have to say is, my heroes have always been cowboys, and for so many reasons, they still are today. God bless our cowboys and cowgirls. We'll see you down the trail.
Every time I win, it just keeps driving me on.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we pause in the midst of this very festive occasion. These men have the same attributes, Lord, of the pioneers that settled the Midlands 4 or 5 generations back. The same hopes and dreams and aspirations, the rugged individualism that helped settle the West. But they realize, Lord, that a rodeo arena is important, but there's a much more important arena for all of us, the arena of life. Help us in the arena of life, Lord. Live the life you would have us live, as honest as the horse under us, as clean and pure as the wind that blows across the western range country, so that when we make that ride that is inevitable for all of us to make, to the place up there where the grass is green and lush and stirrup high and the water is crystal clear and deep, you'll tell us as we enter your arena, Cowboy, your entry fees are paid.
Join me, Susie Dobbs, as I sing 10 of my favorite Christmas songs, like I'll Be Home for Christmas and Silent Night. And there's a special duet with my friend Dave Alexander. This album will bring you back to a simpler time, so take a trip with me back to the country for a country Christmas. Available now at BeyondRodeo.com, SusieDobbs.com, and DaveAlexander.com. We'd like to introduce to you the newest member of the Beyond Rodeo team, Tristan Robert Aaron Anderson. For those with a heart for competition, those young at heart, and those with a heart for family and America, the Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association is the fastest growing equine sport in the nation. Mounted contestants compete in this fast-action timed event using 2 .45 caliber single-action revolvers and special blank ammunition. It's a sport the whole family can compete in and enjoy together. Even if you're a TV personality or a country music artist, today's shoot was very special. It was to benefit our servicemen and women through Not Alone. Today, I got to go to one of the most beautiful places on earth, the Special K Ranch in Columbus, Montana. The Special K Ranch is a place where adults with developmental disabilities live, learn, and work. These folks raise livestock and grow and sell produce in a 36,000 square foot greenhouse. They're all surrounded by loving, committed advisors who make life here wonderful for everyone that calls Special K home. They operate on donations only, so please go to www.specialkranch.org and help in any way you can.
Special K! Right here in Columbus, Montana. Folks, if you get a chance to come to Montana, please visit the Special K Ranch. It's a special place, and it'll change your life too.
Hi, my name is Dallas Hyde. I'm from Special K Ranch, and I'm on Beyond Rodeo's Susie Dobbs. Bye. See you next week.